So Sean Dyche has done his first presser for Forest ahead of the big game against Porto, and there was a lot of good things said and also an update on some injuries. So let's jump into the preview for Forest versus Porto. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the preview for Forest against Porto in the Europa League. Coming up, I'll talk you through some key highlights from a very long presser from Sean Dyche. It went on for nearly an hour. We'll look ahead to the team and how Forest may set up under Dyche, and I'll give you an update on the injuries and everything else. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new. Check out the merch store because it's a European night. Champions of Europe. Let's never forget our heritage. And let's get into it. And I guess that's where I want to start. The heritage has been discussed a lot with Sean Dyche. I gotta say, I thought he interviewed quite well. Probably could do it a towel by his side. It must have been hot under those lights. But he said a lot of the things that you expect him to say as well. Thought he came across very honest, very open. They were asking him a lot about style of play and everything like that, how he was calling, long ball stuff 3 years ago, and now the Premier League has moved towards that. But in general, I thought he came across well. I actually thought Ryan Yates came across very, very professional because you always bring a player out when you do a presser on a European night. And look, I've said what I've said about the manager. Okay, I hear it. A lot of you are not agreeing with that. I say that's fine. But as I say, now we're in the football matches. This is the mode where I get positive. I get excited about the game because all that matters to me is what happens on the pitch. So in terms of the players, Chris Wood has a knock. He kind of said, he didn't say 50-50, but he said that he's kind of maybe not going to be playing tomorrow. I think we can assume from that he won't be. And the other player he said that is out injured is Bakwa. So don't expect to see Bakwa anywhere near the City Ground team sheet tomorrow evening. Outside of that, he kind of started to talk about the players, and then again some of the questions that journalists ask, it just baffles my mind. Someone asked about was it a hard choice or words to that effect to choose Forest over doing some stuff at Talk Sport. Even Sean Dyche had to call that one out. Honestly, there was some lack of interesting questions, should I say. But anyway, so those are the two ones that are out. And this is against a Porto team that have won 10 out of 11 games, undefeated in the league, undefeated in the Europa League. So let's not make any kind of qualms about this. This is going to be an extremely tough match. And this isn't a match that defines what Sean Dyche is going to do at Forest. A draw against Porto would be a fantastic result. I still look ahead to the next 5 games after that, 4 or 5 games in the Europa League, and I think most of them are winnable. This is probably our last hardest match that we have out of those. So I don't think any head losses will be needed. Having said that, if we get smashed, who knows? So look, let's jump into the team sheet and start to get a feel for what we might see tomorrow night. So just a quick reminder, Jair Cunha can't make this game. Obviously wasn't part of the squad. And the same with Amari Hutchinson. Outside of that, Chris Wood and Bakwa look doubts for it. So this was the team that started against Chelsea. And I don't think we're going to see this formation. I don't know what Ange was thinking here. I mean, that team, bloody hell. But I think we will see either a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-2-3-1. That's typically what Sean Dyche likes to use when he's playing and setting up his teams. So I think we will see probably Morato dropped from the back line. And we finally get to go back to M&M, which does excite me. Now, the question becomes on the fullbacks. Excuse me, what do we do here? I think Zinchenko will be dropped. I just don't see Zinchenko as being that Sean Dyche player. And that actually warms me to Sean Dyche if he drops Zinchenko. I think what we'll see is Nico Williams coming back to that left-back position and Savona coming to the right-back position. That to me just looks like a tidier, more orthodox back four without the bloody inverting left-back thing, which is blowing my mind right now. So I think we go to that back four. Now, what I will say as well, I think Ryan Yates will start. Usually, traditionally, if a player makes it to the press conference, then usually their name gets onto the team sheet. So we'll just put him there. For now, Taiwo will not start. It will be, let's just kind of, I know it looks a bit messy now, just bear with me. I think Jesus comes on. I think Sangare will be the one who makes way. And you probably see something that wouldn't work either. That wouldn't work either. This is a tough one. So is Yates being in the presser that's thrown me? Otherwise, you would have said it would have been probably something like this: Anderson and Douglas Luiz. You'd have had Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side, for example. They'd probably say right-hand side, and then maybe Ndoi on the left-hand side. And then it would have looked something like that. It's just the presser thing that's slightly thrown me off. You could still see that. Now, maybe he looks to rest Anderson because Anderson has played a lot of games. I don't know. I think Yates will start. Now, if Yates is going to start, how does that work? Maybe you have to go to a 4-3-3, which isn't really too much of a Dyche formation. So something like that could happen. You drop that and you see a midfield three of Anderson, Douglas Luiz, and Yates. I don't know. I'd probably prefer that setup over the 4-4-1-1, if I'm being honest with you. Gibbs White will play. I think Gibbs White, maybe under a new manager, feels a bit rejuvenated. Maybe that's the team we go with. But I like the back four. I like the keeper. I mean, Sells needs to get back to being Sells, that's for sure. There's been a few mistakes lately. And personally, I would go Sangare over Yates, but it's usually a big hint when you see the manager has kind of brought that player into the press. And now you could argue he's club captain, and that's why he was there kind of being welcoming on the first one. But I don't know, what do you guys reckon? I think something like that's probably not a million miles off. What would you do? Let me know in the comments. So, how does this game go? Well, as much as I've said Porto are an excellent team, and look out for the likes of Pepe, who has been playing very well there. By the way, Forest were linked to him in the summer, so would it surprise you if he went and scored? It just always seems to be the case, those players we are linked with. But despite them being so good so far this season, I hate to turn all on you, but the Portuguese league isn't the strongest league in the world. Yes, they've played well to win their 2 games in the Europa League, but the Portuguese league and the Premier League are miles apart. We've seen so many players coming from the Portuguese league who have struggled in Premier League conditions. And with Forest being at home, with the crowd being back on side, whatever I've said about Sean Dyche, what I cannot say about him is I feel like he's unified the fan base again, or to a certain extent, most of the fan base, to get behind it. Even people like me who are not sold on him. Doesn't mean I'm not going to back him. This isn't an Ange scenario where Ange was making it all about him. Sean Dyche was saying in the press conference, you know, the badge is bigger than me. I'm just a small cog in this big machine kind of thing. And, you know, all the right buzzwords that you expect that Ange kind of ignored doing. So I think the atmosphere in itself is going to be extremely important when it comes to the game tomorrow. And you know what? With the old manager bounce, which statistically doesn't exist, I know, but indulge me. I just got a feeling Forest can do something in this game. Be it a draw or be it a win, I think we get a positive result from this one and we can take that into Bournemouth. I just feel even a draw is good. It just gives us something to build on. And a win, heads are up, tails are up, chests are out, and we can move forward towards the bogey match on Sunday against Bournemouth. So I'm going to predict a tight win for Forest. I'm going to go Forest 1, Porto 0. But I'll be quite happy with a draw. Just anything other than a defeat. And I think that's a positive start for Sean Dyche. So get your predictions in as well. Make sure you check out the merch store. If you haven't seen my interview with Everton Mike, go check it out. I'll leave it on the end screen for you. If you want the perspective from an Everton fan who lived through the Sean Dyche era, etc., go check that out. But be wary that they didn't look too positively at Sean Dyche, okay? So that's just the way it is. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. We'll see you on the next video. Well, we'll see you for the match tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.